In fact, we you come and come and see what the see no cry ya gruesome no and nobody ya amfa petition and pamu omo yira enti ma mi to konumpo dem se ntia yi se eja ya amfa sebi o amfa to ensi wutia yu ama wan yira me mi krom justice doc is it bempoado no ka ho judges ma me na ne bada ne nsaso a judge na ne bada ne nsaso ye kofa ne fifia na dwo yeah the name was I think justice bempoado. Yeah, papa, Kwabreje Japo papa ka ho. Judges gidaye e my room. And for every young person, Gen Z ya omutie Chief Justice nkomo ya won sheda ni mu yie no. Ma sheda na makofa ba say we no enye wanwa. Enti na me miracles. Who follow me you realize that my imagine say me ha me ho ka we because a characteristic of the NDC. It is in their DNA and their blood. Omo a certain dislike. Omo time be my judiciary. Justice Grande Ado. Thank you. Neba dan nsaso. Ine yekofa na nado. Nursing mother a neba dan nsaso a o ma ne ba nufu. Ine yekotwe no aye ja ne ba no to ho. Aye ne ko aye hu ne biema yeku no. NDC, PNDC abreso. Some of the members of the PNDC then are still members of this government. Eti me to say NDC wa bury mu. No more tight judiciary. Enye news. They won't stop today, they won't stop tomorrow. Ombesi aye biom. Omoko no musaimba omesia tata judicial biom. It is their nature. Eh? The Minister for Communications and Honorable Felix Kwachofosu na ya obi na nu ton eka wo TV so government communication ebi na nu ton eka wo TV so say the judiciary has been against the NDC for 32 years and they will clean it up. Now me said legitimate issues no we raise. Eh? A year nanka the EOCO so enei and free in some NDC for Kai Wabro more opposition. I can make an issue. But say opposition leader now your president and during the campaign, NDC lawyers and him I catch them say Mumu be break upgrade mo. And let me tell you, one of the promises or that's one of the expectations of the NDC lawyers association is that they are coming to the bench. And that the judicial, the bench needs to be balanced. These were the words of the president. Say it has to be balanced. Balanced with what? Is it tribal balance? Is it religious balance? Or it's partisan balance? Clearly, in his view, so long as Omanpenino was no, and a vacancy better or nominating Supreme Court judge in his view, that Supreme Court judge is supposed to be aligned to that president's party. It is obi or no. Now can say Udie Oba Bemuni to Abama, you will balance the bench. Now, in fact, more commentary, Monsam Mubibia Muke Nina Che say, Mon Chief Justice of the Republic Nasem. Mon Penasam, that one it was obvious. Utien in someone waka, Mr. Tanon someone waka, the examples of Amin say, Ye meaning. It's a quembi aso ye ba ye be you feel me oka someone say na MPP for the kasa now to be very honest, let me tell you, no MPP person is defending Chief Justice Tokonu. What we are defending is the democracy.
the omo ye no say ombe so mu chief justice we no mo do omo chief justice ba oko constitution ni mu a ye wo bibi a friend tribunal regional tribunals ordinarily any democratic constitution biano it should not have what we call regional tribunals and narratives. Now young have what regional tribunals are under the constitution. Now regional tribunals, because J.J. Rawlings or no military mindset in or you know and the regional tribunals special constitution or say there shall be established in each region of Ghana such a regional tribunals as the Chief Justice may determine. Can you? So it has left the creation of regional tribunal in the hands of the Chief Justice. I don't know someone to mean Justice Tokunu. So they have to change Justice Tokunu. So the Chief Justice will come and establish regional tribunals in the whole regions. It's court is because of more train, so between Justice Tokunu, Chief Justice. Normally, Chief Justice for Fraba, no be establishing regional tribunals. 22 years, we've not done regional tribunals. So, Omo be setting up regional tribunal. According to Article 142, J.J. Rawlings is the way she because also when you court you need said there be a court no or be creative one kasane there. Now your mama no yes civilian government no also will be creative regional tribunals. The Chief Justice and one man in TSC Chief Justice. No kura woman in any. Mese no kura woman in any movie. I didn't jump as Chief Justice in it. Anna regional tribunal establishing who here lawyers. It is the here say what they want when this for backward church. So in this case, we are fast and no majority in parliament. A pass sembra. No more the regional tribunal. Na regional tribunal national. No more the Dimcroft case. It is the so we go through the High Court, the Court of Appeal. Almost what we use. It will be creative regional tribunals. And they are making money. This is what your mama is doing. The entire Chief Justice in Engineer. Mena make a chill. And come on, Article 142, 143. The jurisdiction of the regional tribunal. And the courts are in appellate. You can't appellate jurisdiction. You do as a magistrate. And ye yafako. And ye yafako. We are not a High Court. Not High Court, Court of Appeal. Not Supreme Court. But with the regional tribunal, the appellate jurisdiction of the court is given to the regional tribunal. You don't go to Court of Appeal. It's one of the you do as we Naka so appeal, Abasa Komaho. Adios Justice Toko Noye, and it's Yendy. Everyone said, was all recommended, say, you promoted some 5 justices be. But first of all, if your recommendation it is against the law, dear Parliament, a war, Washa, Article 1442, you read Article 1442 or say, Supreme Court justice shall be appointed by President, acting on the advice of the Judicial Council, in consultation with Council of State. Not just that, and with approval of Parliament. So Ampani Ampa say, Sekufuado, and I say Justice Tokunu, will follow this process. Other Parliament approve. Now, two cardinal principles of law when it comes to the fundamental human rights. All the alterum pattern and a normal Judas in Casaso. All the alterum pattern says there are some two obisua. Yen Cheni Perimi, and you say, sa case of constitutional interpretation. Now, a speaker some the other court. A constitutional interpretation, which the courts have been given at Article 2:1, the right and power, 2:1 and 130. See the action bar. Only Supreme Court know to me. So what you interpretation? What's the end here? I advance money by me. Now nobody advance money by me court. We own a mama's who is in Eti or no I am Gano. Chief Justice Tiatiano. Chief Justice catches one guy so shouting. Eti a abuse of the fundamental right. Our Article 33. Among the processes are abuse of fundamental right as a person. You can go through Article 33 and seek redress. You can sue the Chief Justice. You don't sue the Chief Justice because Wabayaba, your mama will be court where your lawyer, Chief Justice Tiatiano. Eti Yenina Sumfani Chief Justice. When I your mama so generous about we abodam. I'm telling you about abodam. No, I'm telling you about abodam. Na me shut time me share a year. You can't say a Sufaya Kufu, former Chief Justice. may share former attorney general. A year, you can't say, a better more do so. No, my share a year or more, and then you ran it one more was our committee. So says, how do you make us the chief justice?
So, since Kwabena Edubuahin was left to come home, we have been dealing with the matter. We have spoken to his lawyers in extenso, and we are getting to the bizarre conclusion that 1 + 1 is not 2. It's not always 2. Bizarre conclusion. That 3 + 3 is not 6. That 2 + 2 is not what? It's not 4. Do you know what happened? My friend Raymond Archer here, Raymond, you see his white beard, you know. His boss is this man here, Abdullahi Dapila, the EOCO boss. The EOCO boss is thinking, or we have been told that he's thinking, do we believe it? I don't know yet. That Raymond Archer here is marauding all over the place and doing his own things and setting his own agenda. And he's running on his own account. And he's able to convince President Mahama and Dominic Ayini that there was something wrong about what Kwabena Edubuahin's accounts or something like that. Viewers, as we speak, after keeping Kwabena Edubuahin and his dear wife in cells 3 weeks, the learned Attorney General, who held a maximum press conference and explained that he has already finished with Edubuahin and that Edubuahin there is in jail. 3 weeks after that, in the Republic and the Constitution, Edubuahin is yet to be charged. To today, what's the time? 9:44. Today is 22nd April. Kwabena Edubuahin is yet to be charged. Do you know why? Because they are beginning to find out that they may have been misled by the whims and caprices of Lord Archer. Why? Because the matters that were raised against Kwabena Edubuahin by Raymond Archer, which got everybody here excited, it's a very simple matter to have been investigated. Raymond Archer is not a member of national security, has never been. Okay, he's a very good journalist. Never been a member of national security. He says that he has found that Kwabena Edubuahin has an account, National Bureau account, and he has opened another account for his wife to buy things for national security. This is Raymond Archer's claim, which was repeated by Dominic Ayini, the learned Attorney General. Now, check this out, viewers. The matter that they are talking about, who should be the complainant? It should be the National Security Coordinator. He it is who can find the person who has replaced Kwabena Edubuahin at the National Signals Bureau and say, come, what is this accounts issue? If they find that there's a problem, they go to the National Security Coordinator between the National Signals Bureau and whoever is investigating. It goes to the National Security Coordinator. He will conduct an internal investigation and make a conclusion that yes, Kwabena Edubuahin moved $7 million United States dollars from a bank into his personal account and nobody saw it. Kandapa, his boss didn't see it. President Akufo-Addo, Bank of Ghana, they didn't see it. Or the suggestion is that they were all part of it, so they all took their money and chopped. Okay. So Raymond Archer managed to convince all these people. This man was suspicious. His boss was quite suspicious, but he was not part of the process. We are gathering all the information. They will wonder where we got it from. Don't worry. We are all Ghanaians. I told you that those of us who come from the south, Adudome, Sogakope, Zelukope, we are brothers. So I get the information. Now, he is worried that he wasn't part of the process because the process was handled lock, stock, and barrel by Raymond Archer, the deputy EOCO boss. He handled the process lock, stock, and barrel. He did. And he sent the information to Dominic Ayini, who swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. Dominic Ayini then convinced President John Dramani Mahama, who is too busy. Of course, a new president is busy. He's handling 60 ministers, international community, Sahel problems. He's busy. So the president probably didn't look at it. He trusts the Attorney General. But the Attorney General is now finding out. You see, when you are eating fish bone and the thing chokes you, but the food is nice, but the thing has choked you. So, but the food is nice, so you still want to eat more food, something like that. The Attorney General swallows hook, line, and sinker Everything that Raymond Archer did by so moto, as they say in law, so moto. He went around so moto that he has found something spectacular. And it's 3 weeks now, the Attorney General, now the matter has shifted from law. Raymond Archer is not a lawyer. The matter has shifted from gossip to law. You have to charge the person. In law, there are 2 words that I'd like you to go and search and tell me. A priori is Latin, and a posteriori is also Latin. Go and check. Raymond Archer was operating on a priori. The matter has now come before the Attorney General. He has swallowed the evidence, hook, line, and sinker, the so-called evidence. Attorney General must now prosecute. 4 weeks, no charge. Because the charges are predictable. They are in the Criminal Offences Act, okay? They are already there. Act 29. 30 is the procedure. Now, he's going to look at it and say, should I pick stealing? So there's no charge called Kwabena Edubuayin has offended. No. You have to charge him defrauding by false pretenses, stealing, causing financial loss to the state. In each of these cases, there are ingredients of the offense, and you must demonstrate the ingredients of the offense. So the matter has now shifted from gossip, press conference, charade, and brouhaha. All that is fine. That is for us journalists. We jump about Yachino. No, that is not where we are now. The matter is before the Attorney General. It has to go to court. 4 weeks, Attorney General hasn't charged. So I'm suggesting to you viewers, at the beginning of our inquiry on this matter, we're going to come with a lot. At the beginning of our inquiry on this matter, first things we are finding is that Lord Archer may have misled everyone on this Kwabena Edubuayin. He may have misled everyone. Was it a personal vendetta? Did he have something personal to prove? What was it about? So bompaya ya kai Ghana Shrewu nyankopon Fagana shenisa. No, now they are signaling me that I should stop the singing with my horrible voice and let's move on because we have a lot to deal with tonight. Tonight, we have so much. But I'm happy that I found time to deal with this preliminary matter. It's preliminary. We are going to go into it. Remember the things I said you should look for? A priori, a posteriori. When you see the meaning, send both to Raymond Archer. That Paul Adumachi say you are doing something a priori, something a posteriori. What is it? This is what has happened. Now, viewers, causing financial loss to the state is an offense. It can be dealt with at any time. So bompaya ya kai Ghana. This is the matter. As for EOCO boss Abdullah, he is unhappy. He may not admit it. He is completely unhappy. He thinks that Raymond Archer is taking. He's a police officer. He's a COP. He knows what to do. As for National Security Coordinator, he is completely unhappy. That what is this? What are they doing? We hear, oh, I told you, Zelukope, Sogakope, Adudome, Denu, we are brothers. Ma omenyi musem yewe yasem, na drinwa no. Ha! Well. Welcome to the show. Do you know that when the drivers at the Judiciary, the Supreme Court side, when they went to work today, they were told that they should move the cars of Tokonu and put it here and bring the keys and move the cars here, and there's a new Chief Justice, so they should direct the siren to my Lord Justice Paul Bafuboni. And then also Justice Bafuboni has issued a circular. he says that all cases should come to him immediately, everything. Not just the cases of the Supreme Court, district courts, circuit courts, high courts, Court of Appeal, Supreme Court. Or have we misread it? We don't know whether we misread it. We'll be showing it to you. That's one of the big stories we'll be doing tonight. The Ghana Bar Association. Yeah, that's a circular on TV. We'll show it to you tonight when we get there. The Ghana Bar Association also issued a statement, and many people have been discussing on social media the import of the statements, the language of it, the ethos thereof, etc., etc. We'll be doing all that in some great detail today. Justice Bafoboni has taken over. Tonight, most of the program will be focused on the things that have been happening in Tamale. We're going to begin with the water situation that plagued Tamale over the last 2 months. DJ Tell is in the studio. You know who DJ Tell is? He's one of the most influential, if not the most influential radio presenter in Tamale. He's here in the studio with us to tell us what is the latest. But talk of Tamale. Have you seen this video? Have a look. Have a look at this video.
Even the minister, look at the way you are behaving. So even from the minister, so you can imagine how you can imagine how you but you see, how can you behave like this? So it means that you're doing worse things here. It means that you're doing worse things here. Honorable, I mean, even with your superiors, look at how you are arguing. There's a problem. There's a problem here. So if a commoner comes here, can you imagine what he How can somebody talk to this man here? How will he be able to communicate with you? How will he do that? There's a problem. Even the minister, look at the way you are behaving. So even from the minister, so you can imagine how you can imagine how you but you see, how can you behave like this? So it means that you're doing worse things here. It means that you're doing worse things here. Honorable, I mean, even with your superiors, look at how you are arguing. There's a problem. There's a problem here. So if a commoner comes here, can you imagine what he How can somebody talk to this man here? How will he be able to communicate with you? How will he do that? There's a problem.
Hey! Power. Minister is in power. Hey, but Honorable Mitakando, when did he get this? I mean, I know him. Very, very cool guy. But when did this happen? So a minister is resetting the hospital. The minister, the boss of the health sector, goes into a hospital and is having an argument with the on-duty physician, shouting with another MP, fighting. Then when he leaves, the head of the institution, who was not even part of the fighting, is sacked, fired. Then he claims that the doctors there are not doing their work well. Then they fire the head of the institution, another doctor. Then the next day, or 2 days later today, he says, I'm going to make a donation to the hospital. And why is it called a donation? Is it a dash? Is it his money he used to buy the thing? Is it some philanthropist? I was wondering with the media that why are we calling this donation? Please, some journalists, if you know, come and tell me. The things that Mita Akando is reported to have presented to the hospital today, that is called donation. Donation means that he's dashing it to them. It means that he took it from his philanthropy resources and is dashing it to them. If he is distributing something that a taxpayer has paid, it cannot be called donation. He is not donating it. He is distributing it. That is his responsibility as a minister, the head of the institution. If, however, the minister talks to Coca-Cola and tells Coca-Cola that, can you buy this for the hospital? And Coca-Cola agreed to do it. Then the minister is attending the donation of the equipment that was purchased by Coca-Cola Ghana Limited or Guinness Ghana Limited or Pure Water Special Ice Ghana Limited or something like that. Which are the other Ghanaian brands? Coco King, Ghana Limited, any Ghanaian brand you can think of, you can add it. But then, so I don't understand this. Minister goes there, fight. Okay, he goes away. Hey, boss, you are sacked. The boss was very courteous. The boss is the tallest man in the video, white. He's very courteous. He works with him. He goes to fight with some doctor. I'm talking, you're also talking, I'm listening to you. A minister shouldn't bring himself to that level. He must deal with the head of the institution and tell him that, look, you guys must do your work well. What is happening? We shouldn't even know about it. And this issue about camera, that the minister, some head of institution went to visit, that thing I don't understand it. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Another day. I mean another day. Some head of institution went to visit, then pictures are on social media. He went to visit. This one stands up, then he goes to visit this one. Then this one stands up, he goes to visit this one. Then they have pictures. Oh, he went to, don't they have work to do? 4 years is running out already. They don't have work to do. They are visiting. This one wakes up. I'll show you some of the pictures. Oh, we received the visit of our cherished. Then, so somebody is in institution A. He leaves the work there 10 o'clock in the morning. He's not there. He sat in car. Taxpayers' petrol. They put petrol in the car. Sometimes maybe he goes with an outrider. Maybe he doesn't. It's all fine. But it's taxpayers' money. Then he drives to another institution. They stand there. They take pictures. They do like this. What kind of work are they doing? Are they really serious? Visiting people. So Minta Akando is going to the hospital, which is part of his duties as Minister of Health. But he has a camera with him for what? What does he have the camera with him for? Why is a cameraman following him? Yeah, you can have a ministry's cameraman that is following you for purpose of record. It doesn't come public. It's not for us to be looking at it and it's looking at who is shouting at who. They are debasing the democracy. It is a debasement of the democracy to have a minister in the middle of all of this. Please show the video again. Show the video again. Have a look at it. This is a minister of health. Show the video again.
Even the minister, look at the way you are behaving. So even from the minister, so you can imagine how you can imagine how you but you see how you doing? How can you behave like this? So it means that you do worse things here. It means that you do worse things here.
Honorable.
I mean, even with your superiors, look at how you are arguing. There's a problem here. So if a commoner comes here, can you imagine what he How can somebody talk to this man here? How will he be able to communicate with him? Children come here. How will he deal with it? That's a problem.
So bompaya eya kai Ghana Shre unyankupon fagana shenesa
Ma omenyi musem yewe yase na drinwa no pa area na bringina se uri bompa ya kai Ghana sufre unyankupon fagana shenesa enuna uyo mambapa enuna odo ma enu arana yerishe odo ma enu aleya odo ma enu arana yerishe odo ma enu aleya Ma omeyi musem yewe yase na drinwa no pa area na brenina se uri bompa ya kai Ghana sufre unyankupon fagana shenisa enuna uyo mambapa enuna uyo do ma enu arana yerishe odo ma enu aleya odo ma enu arana yerishe
Oh man, and here we need it, brethren, we need it. Hey, so on Tuesday, a lot has happened since we did this story. A whole lot has happened, a whole lot. We put out this story, then, so Tuesday night, we normally close quite late. We did our this and that, editing, put the videos together, then we all split sometime past midnight. Okay. When I left here, as usual, I went to plus 233. I went to sit there, had a conversation with my friends, and talking about the show. We talked about Arsenal. We talked about Chief Justice. We talked about Sam George and his dancing, and whether he was taking my program off TV, and whether there was a DSTV problem. We had that conversation. So when I was leaving plus 233, it was about nearly 2 a.m. Okay. So then I went home. When I go home, I usually would watch CNN, and I'm listening to Trump things, and da-da-da-da. So I'm not sleeping early. And that's why people know that they can always call me at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. I'll be there. I'll be watching CNN. Then the next morning, sometime around midday, my phone was ringing. It had been ringing earlier. I saw the calls. Some I picked, and then I spoke to them. Some I sent them text. Then I called the guy back. Very important lawyer. He says, hey, my brother, wake up. Are you sleeping? Wake up. Now, he knows I was sleeping because one of my people, one of the guys in the plus 233 conversation, is a very good friend. So he called him and said, where is Paulus? He said, yesterday when we split, it was past nearly 2, but now he's still sleeping. This was around 9 o'clock. He said, I'm calling him. He's not picking. So he's sleeping. He said, okay. All right. So we spoke. Then he said, Charlie, wake up. Do you know what has happened? I said, no. He said, you are in trouble. I said, oh, me, I'm in trouble every day. What's the latest? He said, no, this one is not that one. Charlie, I have instructions to sue you. I said, hey, instructions to sue me? He said, yeah. So I know him, the very famous lawyer. So my mind started going to some people. But if I tell you there's some people, you know who the lawyer is, so I won't tell you there's some people. So I said, who wants to sue? Then another call was coming. I said, let me call you back. This one is called important call. I'll call you back. No. He said, don't treat mine as non-important. I said, oh, I'll call you back. So I called him and said, Paulus, he was laughing. And I felt better now because he was laughing. He said, Charlie, EOCO want to sue you. I said, EOCO? He said, yes. I said, what have I done? He said, but the thing you were standing on the TV doing yesterday, this thing you do, I've been telling you, and it's true, he's been telling me, this is your touch screen, we've been laughing about it. See, this thing you do, I've been telling you. Now I have instructions to sue you. I said, oh, but you are my friend, how can you sue me? You've defended me before. He said, but that is why I'm telling you that I'm going to sue you. I said, what is the matter? He said, but the things you said on TV yesterday, they were not true. I said, they were not true. He said, but who told you? I said, oh, but you're asking me who told me why, who told me saying, who told me how, who told me is who. They said, well, Charlie, you need to repair it. I said, okay, what is the method to repair? He said, okay, I'm going to get them to do a statement, and then you will read the statement. I said, oh, no problem. I mean, that's their right of rejoinder, so that's basic. Fundamentally, we'll do that. If they have a right of rejoinder, so we did a program, and they come and say, Mr. Adomoche, it's not true. Raymond Acha told the boss about the investigation. The boss was aware, and the whoever told you was lying, and the Dubois has done this and that and that. I said, whatever is there, let them bring it. Okay. So then, this is around 1:30 then. I called my producer. I said, hey, Masa, you are being sued for defamation. He said, for what? I said, for the EOCO story. He said, but the EOCO story, there's no defamation. I said, they say that they are suing. So he said, which parts? I said, well, they say that it is not true that the boss is not in charge. The boss says he's in charge. So he wants to sue you that you want to say that he's not in charge, but he's in charge. And by telling the Ghanaian people that he's not in charge, you have defamed him. And so it is defamation. And then my producer said, but this is a clear public interest, because one of the defenses for defamation libel is public interest, that the matter that you were talking about was public interest. Another defense is that fair comment. So you can do fair comment, you can do public interest, you can have the two together, fair comment or public interest. Any lawyer will tell you that. So he said, but this one is public interest. What is it? I said, but is it not even fair comment? He said, oh, boss, forget about fair comment. It's public interest. So what are they saying? I said, okay, let's see what happens. So then I check with the people at EOCO. You see, the whole conversation, let me not jump the gun. The whole conversation is looking like the boss here is the one who spoke to me before God and man, before everybody. I have never seen this man before. I don't know him. Even his name, I had to struggle to remember it. My producer will tell you, I had to struggle to remember. I don't know anything about him. I've not seen him before. Okay, so, if you take this photograph, this people here, the person that I have never met before is National Security Coordinator and him. Raymond, I know him. But Raymond, when he and this guy were fighting, McDonald, you remember he came on Good Evening Ghana, we spoke to him. He sent me a text thanking me that in very difficult circumstances, I put him on TV and he has told his story. He was very happy with it. Beyond that, Chronicle Days, Kofi Kumsi, I know him. I know him. I served with him on the NCA board. You know, in 2017, Akufo-Addo put me on the NCA board. I was very happy about it. And Kwame Dubois sat next to me and I learned plenty things from him. In fact, when the matter first came, I called some of the NCA board people. And I said, they said, Paul, you know Kwame, you think he will do something like that? I said, I'm confused. They said, it is not, Kwame Dubois will never do that. He will take taxpayers' money and go and buy houses. The board members told me he will never do that. I said, me too, I see that. It is, nobody will do that. But this is what they are saying he has done. Okay, so Kwame Dubois, I know him. Dominic Aini. But 2020 election petition. Dominic Aini came to sit here. Where was his chair? Here. It was around this area in the studio. He sat here. I sat here. We had conversation about election petition. He was my lecturer. I know him. As for President Mahama is president, so you cannot say you know him, So I know him as president of Ghana, it's fine. So the only people I have never met is National Security Coordinator and Mr. Abdullahi Dapila. I don't know him. But now the suggestion is that Mr. Dapila is the one who has given information to me to come and talk here and do too known. So the thing has happened. All right, let me get back to the story. So this is 1 o'clock, 1:30, something like that. I ask my EOCO people, Charlie, the person who gives me the information, there are 3 of them. They will never find out who they are. They will never find out. So I call one of them. I asked one of them, Charlie, call the guy. He calls me back and said, the guy says he sent you text on an American number. Look at your phone. I said, hey. He said, check your phone. So I go through my phone. I see American number. I say, boss, are you there? It's me. Then he asks his nickname. I won't tell you the nickname. They say, yeah, I'm here. He said, but I've been trying to reach you. Charlie, there's a matter about you. I said, give me, because the lawyer has called me. He said, which lawyer? I said, yeah, he was there. What he's telling you is true. So they had a meeting, and then they said that they should sue you. But the lawyer said that he knows you and that you're a reasonable person. So if they bring something, you will read it. So he was tasked by the meeting that go and tell him that we are bringing something, and he should, otherwise we are suing him. Anyway, I can hear Raymond Acha's voice in that. Hey, go and tell Paul that if he doesn't do, I can hear Raymond Acha's voice. I know him, pa. So I said, oh, really? He said, yes. I said, what's happening now? He said, after the meeting, the boss and the deputy have been called to Jubilee. So they are gone to Jubilee. It's around 2 o'clock. I said, okay. So then I'm getting hungry. I went to look for contomere and contomere stew. The one they use star kiss to do. It's very nice. And apim. That's what I ate for lunch. It's very, very nice. Apim and very, very nice. So I went to look for the contomere stew. I was eating it. Up to about 3 o'clock thereabouts. Then I got a very good call from Nice Colby from London. And the guy, my people, they said, Charlie, do you want to watch the FA Cup? I said, well, Manchester United is not inside. I don't want to watch any FA Cup final. Yeah. Then we laughed and I put the phone up. Then the guy started calling me. The American number. So I picked. I said, hey. He said, hey, boss, Charlie, your God is great too. I said, why? He said, they've come back from Jubilee, the 2 of them. And I said, what has happened? He said, the boss has been fired. I said, huh? The boss has been fired? He said, yeah, he's been transferred. I said, but when did they come? He said, they just came from Jubilee, the 2 of them. So we are all moving, taking our files. The boss has been fired. That time, this story hadn't come. It hasn't come here. I got the proper, correct thing. EOCO boss, CSO Abdullahi Bashiru Dapila, has been reassigned to National Security as technical advisor. Then I said, he's been fired. Saying, Charlie, he's gone. So I text the lawyer 4 o'clock. The boss, your man at EOCO, they have sacked him. Oh, he says, are you sure? I said, you are asking me, am I sure? They've sacked your man. They finished him off. He's gone. Raymond Acha has sacked him. He said, how? So around 5, he sends me text and say, oh, Paul, this thing I think is political machination. It's not true. It's not true. I say, yo, I text my guy again. That, is it true? He said, but the man has left the office. He's gone. I said, so he's gone. They said, the memo has gone round. They said we should report to Raymond Acha. The memo has gone round. I said, can you get me a copy of the memo? He said, boss. I said, I won't show it to anybody. I beg you. So he sent it to me, but I won't show it. I can never show it. He sent it to me. I said, solid. Good. I have the filler. So I called the lawyer again. I said, counsel, check. Now the thing, I think it's true, check. So 7:25, counsel comes back to me. Hey, Paulus, you were right. I said, Please play the song again. Do you know my that thing? Play it for me. Play it for me. Say, oh, Bompaya, Eya Kai Ghana. Let it come.
Ma omenyi musem yewe yasem na drinwa no pa ewia na brejina se uri bompa ya kai gana sufre unyakupon fagana shedisa eno na uyo mambapa eno na uodo
So then I started getting the information. So I have to punch inside Jubilee House. What happened? What is going on? Why has EOCO boss been fired? You can say he's transferred. He's been fired. He has bam, they sack him. They sack him. That's how the politics is. They sack him. He finished. Then they said that Raymond Acha is acting. Okay, so this is the filler. Apparently, Lord Acha actually started this crusade by requesting on his own behalf and requested also by some people on his behalf that he should be the national security coordinator. This is a story. I got it from inside. They say that the story is that Raymond Acha wanted to be the national security coordinator. But there is an appointment committee inside the NDC. I think every political party has it, which is I said you get your chair sitter here. And they said that, but how can Raymond Acha be national security coordinator? Oh, no, please. He's our man. He's a very intelligent man. Let's give him something, but not national security coordinator. Anyway, so that jumped. Then Raymond Acha said, okay, the people who were campaigning for him, you know, in those days, the NDC people, if you look at their Facebook page, they say if you don't have godfather, you don't get post to, where's your godfather? So his godfathers went in there and said that EOCO boss. Then again, they looked at the EOCO history. They saw Dominic de Graft Edu. They saw some other people all the way to Mamitiwa when the EOCO, when the Serious Fraud Office was changed to EOCO in 2010, something like that. They used to be called the Serious Fraud Office. And we did a lot of stories on Serious Fraud Office. Dominic de Graft Edu. Raymond Acha and me and Raymond Acha, we did a lot of stories together on Serious Fraud Office with Dominic de Graft Edu's period. Okay. So they looked at the thing and thought that, oh, the EOCO boss to, okay. So somehow, sort of a leveling ground was agreed for deputy. But since the deputy, he's been looking for the position of EOCO boss. So when this matter broke, in the conversations in Jubilee House, it is reported that he must have sold to the authorities in Jubilee House that you see some of these kinds of informations that get out. It's not proper. Does that mean that the information we shared here is correct? I don't know. Viewers, you have to make that decision. I don't know whether it's correct or it wasn't correct. But this is the story. So there's a grand agenda for certain things to happen, not so much for the Republic, but for some people and against some people. That's what it is. It's a grand agenda for certain things to happen. Not so much for the republic, but for some people against some people. Somebody may call it personal vendetta. I don't know. But today, Raymond Archer is the boss. Forget about the acting. The acting doesn't mean anything. He's going to run the show at EOCO. I don't know what is left more to catch people and to arrest. But we are hearing all kinds of things. And I'll be telling you a lot. When I get to the second story about the Chief Justice story, I'll be telling you how they are planning even to affect partisan licenses of lawyers. Godfrey Damne is on the list. Atachan is on the list. They will take their partisan license from them. They will suspend their partisan license. And the Chief Justice will not do anything about it. Just say plenty things that they are planning. We all didn't know that the Chief Justice position was so important and it was such a stumbling block to politicians. We didn't know that because we've never seen it before. We've never seen a politician wanting to remove a Chief Justice because a Chief Justice was a stumbling block. We saw Rawlings fight with the Judiciary. We've seen Kufuor fights with the Judiciary. We've seen even Akufo-Addo have disagreements with the Judiciary on the rulings that have been given by the Supreme Court. But never in the history of Ghana have we seen a political entity make a decision that the Judiciary must be purged. That's the word they use, purged. And that means remove the Chief Justice because if she's not with us, she'll be an obstacle. Because what they want to do, maybe anyone who is not with them will be an obstacle. So they have to have somebody who is with them. I don't know whether the new Chief Justice is with them. I don't know. But I'll be showing you some of the things that he's published today, the things that he wants to do, and you will see. So, welcome to the board, Raymond Archer. I'm sure that this is a job that you've been looking for a while. What are the qualifications of EOCO boss? Is there any standard qualification? I don't know. Do you know why I'm asking you? Because MPP people have been asking me today that, Paul, you do research. EOCO boss qualification, what is it? And I said, why are you asking? He said, I'm person who to me. I said, ope EOCO boss. He said, and I said, Raymond Archer, EOCO boss is a baby. I said, take your time. EOCO boss is not a baby. It's not food. It's not Gary Photo. That's this evening I had Gary Photo. It's not Gary Photo that we are going to eat. So it's not a baby. It's not we are all going to eat some. No. EOCO boss is a disciplined position for a disciplined man and blah blah blah. But a number of MPP young men who have called me today. Some guy called me from America. He said that he's doing PhD, but he wants to add organized crime. And I said, why? He said he wants to be EOCO boss. I said, when? Then he paused. He said, when we win. I said, when we win, which one? The 28 or 32? He said, but Paul, you to what? He said, we'll win, whatever time we'll win. So he's going to add it to his PhD because he wants to be EOCO boss. So one thing that you have done for EOCO, Raymond Archer, which is great, is that by being elevated to the top position, you have so well advertised the EOCO position. Now plenty young men want it. You've done well. Because the course I got today, they said they all want to be EOCO boss. Hey, they will be EOCO boss. Somebody called me and said, Raymond Archer was my mate in JIJ. I said, so what? He said, but he's EOCO boss. I said, so what? I said, hey, 25 years ago, Raymond Archer was the editor of the Ghanaian Chronicle in the year 2000. Raymond Archer was the editor of the Ghanaian Chronicle. Have you edited the Ghanaian Chronicle in those circumstances before? He said, but me too, I was a statesman. I said, so you want to be EOCO boss? He said, yeah, I'll be EOCO boss. I said, okay, no problem. This is what has happened. This is what has happened today. All the young men in Ghana, they are doing PhD, they are doing masters, they are doing double masters. They want to be EOCO boss. It's good, isn't it? Sometimes certain things happen and it's good. Because certain people get interested. You see, some of the young people, they are not interested in Ghana. They don't care. And by the young here, I don't mean very young. I mean 35 to 50, 40, 55, that kind of thing. Yeah. A lot of them, they are professionals. They're not really interested in Ghana. We always tell them, Charlie, you are not interested in Ghana. Come and join, so that we can all work together and say, politics is dirty. Now, they are all looking at it. Ahead. This one, yes, I can do. It's very good. It's very, very good. Let the young people be interested in the Republic. I'm going on with the story. So that's how that one ended. Then, the next day, Kwabena Eduboahin takes out a writ. Strong man. Huge, strong man. He says, as for this one, I will not let it pass. The Attorney General cannot come and stand there and say things about me that are not true, tell the whole world, and tells the world that I'm a criminal. After 1 month of making that press conference, he has not even able to charge me. This one, I'm going to court. So, Dominic Aini is a defendant. He will be the first Attorney General since Godfrey Bain in 1957, against whom a legal action in defamation has been filed in persona whilst he is still Attorney General. Now, this, they're going to show you this. Yes, I get the signal, producer. This is what Dominic Aini said about Kwabena Dubois. I'll get the video. Let's first see. Should we first see what Dominic Aini said before we see what Kwabena Dubois is going to court to seek? Yes, Dominic Aini is on first. Okay, great. So, Dubois says that I shall not allow this to pass. You know why he cannot let it pass? This is a fine intelligence officer. He's an he's an electrical engineer from KNUST. You can verify it. First class, sharp boy. Sharp boy. He has finished electrical engineering, went to work for a UK firm. He's done so much in his life. He's been part of the team of engineers that put together Airbus A380, the one that those of you who are rich, when you travel and you see Airbus, if you are not rich like me, Google it. Google Airbus A380. It will come on your phone. You can also enjoy some just by looking at it. These days, the world is nice, you see. We all don't have to be rich like Richard Amakwe. Is that his name? Yes, Amakwe. We can still see Airbus A380. Kwabena Dubois has been part of a lot of things. He's been working at the Office of National Security since about Professor Mills' time. And he's gone through the ranks till by 2017, he was a deputy to the National Security Coordinator looking after signals. Through his endeavors, the National Signals Bureau was created. He was part of those who put the bill together. Solid guy. He is not going to let his reputation go down the drain because Dominic Aini was informed by Raymond Archer that he has stolen money that he has not stolen. So he says that, look, enough is enough. Ata Achian, take the rate, go to court. Now, what is he in court against? He's in court against this thing that Dominic Aini said. Have a look.
On February 6, 2020, Mr. Dubois then transferred an initial amount of 27,100,000 Ghana cedis, that is from the National BNC's operations account at Fidelity Bank to the private BNC account at UMB. Official documentation on the transfer revealed that the amount was for the payment of cyber defense system software, which the National BNC was buying from ISC Holdings in Israel. Mr. Dubois, in effect, transferred the money from the National BNC to his private company, the private BNC. A review of the transactions on the bank accounts reveals that once the funds from the National BNC landed in the account of his private BNC at UMB Bank, Mr. Dubois caused his private BNC to transfer an amount of 9,537,520 Ghana cedis to ISC Holdings in Israel. By the exchange rate at the time, this amount was the Ghana cedi equivalent of 1,750,000 United States of American dollars.
I just got messages. Somebody says, hey, Paul, be careful. They'll come for your phone. Be very, very careful. Tomorrow morning, they'll come and say that they need something on your phone just to find out. I've deleted it. I've deleted. It was Raymond Archer, who taught me how to do deleting. Raymond Archer. He's the one who taught me. I'll be sitting with him. I get a phone call. He said, but you don't do this to your phone. You don't stream your calls. Let me show you. When the call is coming, he knows how. I've deleted everything. It's nothing. The thing on my phone is my normal driver, good evening, Ghana, producer. Those numbers that I've deleted. It's not there. I've deleted it. But they don't need to take my phone. They can go to MTN and check. They'll find it. But it's deleted. Okay. So you heard Dominic Aini. Didn't you? Producer, take my phone conversation out of the thing, please. You heard Dominic Aini. This is what Dominic Aini said, that Dubois has taken money, government money. He has moved the government money into another account that is his private account. Plenty money, it's not small money. It's money that some people in Ghana may never see before they die. A lot of huge, significant amount of money, $7 million. That's a whole lot of money. That can be moved from one account to another and the bank is not worried. The national security people are not worried. No, are they all part of it? What is happening? Dubois says it is not true at all. It is a flat fundamental lie from the pit of hell, and that Dominic Ayine will have to come to court to come and show how he got all those pieces of information and how he knew that he had stolen the money. So let's go to the writ that he's put out. Let's go to the writ. It says, Eduboahin's complaint. It says the Attorney General publicly accused Mr. Eduboahin and his wife of being criminals and fraudsters, disregarding the constitutional principle of presumption of innocence. Instead of proving their guilt in a court of law, where a higher standard of evidence is required, he, the Attorney General, opted to damage their reputation in the court of public opinion. Furthermore, collaborating with the Economic and Organized Crimes Office, EOCO, the Attorney General had the Boahini and his wife arrested and detained without affording them the chance to defend themselves. What is Eduboahin claiming for? Okay. Eduboahin is claiming as follows: exemplary and punitive damages against the defendant, which is the Attorney General Dominic Ayine, for publishing and or broadcasting highly offensive, defamatory material of and concerning the plaintiffs, the Eduboahins, in his press conference dated 24th day of March 2025. 2. An order of perpetual injunction restraining the defendant, Attorney General Dominic Ayine, from further publishing and or broadcasting or causing to be published and or broadcast the said similar words defamatory of the plaintiff. Cost, including lawyers' professional fees. So Eduboahin is asking for punitive damages against the learned Attorney General. The Attorney General is the government prosecutor. About the same Attorney General, we know the story of A+. About the same Attorney General, Kwame A+ says that the Attorney General, he's calling him names. This is A+. He says he's a thief, he's corrupt. A+ is saying so. And the Attorney General is now 3 weeks. The Office of the Attorney General, which has state attorneys, Justice Sremsai, deputy, Dominic Ayine, boss, Eduji Tamaklo, consultant, the guy in the Kuli High, my friend, the one who the court said he has stolen somebody's book. Martin Pebu, my good friend, consultant. All these lawyers are there. Up till today, Dominic Ayine, he has a law firm called Feli and Ayine in East Lagos. Very good law firm, very nice lawyers, very, very clever people. Up till today, no one has come out to say anything about A+'s allegations. We are waiting. Dominic Ayine told us about A+ that he said some MP took 1.5 billion Ghana cedis from the National Service. Okay, I'll tell you that story. I'll tell you who the MP is. I know who it is. So this is the Eduboahin story. This is what Eduboahin is seeking to do. And Dominic Ayine would have to answer. And now that there's a new Chief Justice, we will see how all of this pan up and how all of this go. It's going to be very interesting. Let's take text messages. When we come back, we'll get to the Chief Justice story. I'm guessing this, yes. We'll get a Chief Justice story when we come back in a minute. It's now 9 minutes past the top of our 10 o'clock. Tonight, we are focusing on Tamale. So if you're in Tamale, call your friend to tell everyone, gather around the TV. DJ Tell is in our studios. He's going to tell us what happened at the Tamale hospital, what is the latest that he knows. He's going to tell us about the water situation. He's going to tell us about the politics of Tamale, what is happening, etc., etc. Today is a Tamale Good Evening Ghana. Join your friend, join his friend, and sing some song for me. Sing some song for me. I like the Tamale song. Sing some song for me. All right. Should we start with Kobe? Yeah. Kobe, what are people saying?
All right, thank you, Paul. So Kofi Nat says, Paul, there's another cocaine scandal. They have arrested 3 people at Kotoka International Airport trying to smuggle cocaine through Swiss terminal, about 73 parcels. Now, Yao Febri says, the action of the health minister at the Tamale Teaching Hospital was just to create scene in order to use that as a means to sack the CEO of the hospital. If not that, how will he sack the CEO who did nothing wrong when the minister had the banter with the doctor? Now, Kofi Nat again says, in NDC, everyone can be minister, to which Sylvester Ejekum replied, say it again, oh. Look at dining hall prefect turned health minister. Now, Safianu Adam says, good evening, Paul and your crew. The scenario between the AG and Eduboahin is now like the bone chasing the dog. That is what happens if you don't have evidence of your claims, but run to the media with empty allegations to get a score. And finally, from Isaac Kam, Akwete says, happy to be watching this edition live at this moment. Paul, I would like to watch Good Evening Ghana when we get to heaven one day. Wow, what a show this is. Now, what do you have for us, Antoinette?
Yeah, so back to the health minister story. Stephen Kwame Ameyo says, is the Honorable Health Minister a doctor before interfering in the job of professional medical doctors? This attitude of charlatan behavior of some of these ministers must stop. He claimed that healthcare has declined in the past 8 years. In what way? We saw how NHIS between 2012 and 2026 became cash and carry. Only the rich that could access good health at that time. So what is the cardboard prefect talking about? I cannot believe this is Ghana. Now back to the judiciary story. Bawumia Jr. says our judiciary should not be under attack. So John Mahama should reinstate the Chief Justice. This is not the reset he promised the good people of Ghana. Now Moses Echampon says, I would like to know when the Chief Justice's case is going to be decided by the Supreme Court. It is my hope and prayer that the Supreme Court will suspend the President's decision because the available information tells the CJ has not violated any law. Again, we pray that the Supreme Court will issue some parameters to prevent the executive and some individuals from interfering, intimidating, and doing frivolous petitions in the near future. Yao February says, this early directives from the acting Chief Justice to court in Ghana is the beginning of the manipulation of cases by the government. Suspension and replacement of the Chief Justice, in addition to the new directives, is informing we Ghanaians that the motive of the government to remove the Chief Justice is a thought out issue. This should inform us that the Chief Justice has already been removed. Now, Aman Coronel says, all the way from Nkwanta South, he says the issue of the CJ is bad for democracy and it will see our judiciary with her ladyship, Tokonu, they can't fulfill their, are they saying they can't fulfill their oral? Have mercy on those who say they want to reset Ghana, yet they are rather destroying Mother Ghana. And lastly, Aman Coronel says, one by one, our democratic institutions are being dismantled, from civil servants to the IGP to CJ and now possibly the EC chair. This isn't a reform, it's a takeover. Hopefully they just make it official and cancel general elections, since that is clearly the direction they are heading towards. Indeed, elections have dire consequences and we must not stay silent. Now back to you, Paul.
Wow. Somebody says, if Her Ladyship Sophia Akufu, the CJ retired, is indeed the embodiment of judicial integrity, her response to this unfolding process will be telling. It will indicate whether prejudice was an ingredient in the impeachment stew or whether reason and fairness prevailed in its preparation. That's a statement from lawyer Kwame Akufu, another good friend of mine, which somebody is just sending to me on social media. Let me read it again. I think it's interesting because we are hearing that Sophia Akufu abstained from the vote on Justice Tokono. That's what we are hearing, but we don't know the details. Now, Kwame Akufu says, if Her Ladyship Sophia Akufu CJ retired is indeed the embodiment of judicial integrity, her response to this unfolding process will be telling. It will indicate whether prejudice was an ingredient in the impeachment stew or whether reason and fairness prevailed in its preparation. Wow, very deep. Sophia Akufu has a responsibility to come and tell us. She has a responsibility to come and tell us what happened. Why did she abstain? Did she abstain with notes? Did she abstain with the notice, or she just abstained? She likes to talk publicly, so I hope that she'll be able to do the Republic of Ghana this honors by at least explaining to people. So journalists, when you see as a public function, ask her, oh, my ladyship, we understand that you abstained from the votes in the Council of State. Did you abstain truly, or did you vote? Yeah, something like that. Let's see whether we can get that from here. Good evening, Justice Bafo-Boni. How are you? My lord, I don't know what else to say. Welcome. Akwaba, I don't know what to say, but good evening, Your Lordship. Good evening. As it pleases Your Lordship, can I go on with the program? Yes. He says I can go on with the program. He says it is pleased that I go on with the program. But the suspension of Justice Tokonu came up Was it on Tuesday or Wednesday? I think it was Tuesday. And now we got this letter today, 23rd April. It is from somebody, some office known as Deputy Judicial Secretary. We know of Judicial Secretary. I didn't know the Judicial Secretary has a deputy. So where is the Judicial Secretary? Why is he not the one writing this? It's a Deputy Judicial Secretary. Okay. Deputy Judicial Secretary, Registrar of High Courts, Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court. Okay. So the thing is the High Court, Court of Appeal. Hold on 1 minute. The thing is to registrars of the High Court, Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court. So it excludes district courts and circuit courts. It excludes those courts. Subject is assignment of courts and fixing of dates for newly filed cases and all newly filed applications. Newly. Okay, it says as follows. I've been directed by the Acting Honorable Chief Justice to inform you that all newly filed cases and applications must be brought to his attention for assignment of courts and paneling of judges where there are more than one court and for the fixing of dates for hearing. Take note that this directive supersedes all previous directives until further notice. Please accept the compliment of the Acting Chief Justice. So Justice Bafuboni says all courts, all matters before the High Courts, the Court of Appeal, and I believe the Supreme Court. Is that correct? Yeah. Yes. Registrars of High Court, Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court. So all matters in the High Court in Ghana across, that's going to be about 300. All matters in the Court of Appeal, that's going to be 210. All matters in the Supreme Court, that's going to be 95. Justice Bafuboni says that all applications that are being filed right now, hold it right there. I'm not sure what the directive means because I'm not in the practice, so I don't know. But I'm not sure what the directive means. The reason why I'm not sure is that where the case is to be filed, it is the Chief Justice who empanels. So he will empanel anyway. So I'm not sure what he means by all applications should come to me. I'm not sure what he's saying. Because that's his work anyway. His work is that he will empanel the cases. He can go ahead and do his work without all of these, publications. He can do that. But maybe there's a peculiar matter that I may not understand. I'm not sure. But because what we know is that all empaneling is done by the Chief Justice. So the Chief Justice says, when there's an application, bring it, let me empanel. He's empaneling anyway. So let's see what that means. But the Ghana Bar Association has issued a statement as well. And people have been criticizing the Bar Association that the statement, they don't understand it. It's as follows. Over the past 2 months, the General Counsel of the Ghana Bar Association has been closely monitoring developments on the process for the removal of the Chief Justice, which has culminated in her suspension by His Excellency the President of the Republic. Per the Constitution, Code of Ethics and Regulations of the Ghana Bar Association, the GBA concerns itself with matters affecting the legal profession, which include but not limited to defending and upholding freedom and justice in Ghana and maintaining of the independence of the judiciary. As at 27th March 2025, when the General Counsel of the Bar met, 3 petitions had been submitted for the removal. Viewers. 3 petitions have been submitted for the removal of the Chief Justice, and 2 cases had been instituted at the Supreme Court challenging the procedure that had been triggered for the removal of the Chief Justice, with subsequent applications for injunction of the said process. The Ghana Bar Association is mindful of the provisions of Article 146, 6, and 7 of our 1992 Constitution, which detail the process for the removal of the Chief Justice by providing as follows. Where the blah, 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 we know that already. All right. So let's go to the last paragraph on this page. The Ghana Bar Association also notes the provisions of Article 146, 8, 9, and 10, which indicates that the sittings of the committee shall be held in camera. And the President, acting in accordance with the advice of the Council of State, may suspend the Chief Justice. While the Ghana Bar Association recognizes the constitutional prescriptions for the removal of the Chief Justice under Article 146 to 10 of the Constitution, and mindful of the fact that presently the entire matter is sub judice, it is the hope and belief of the GBA that the actors involved in the whole process would have the time-tested tenets of the rule of law as their guiding principle, and in its application, follow the spirits of the law. It is expected that persons who play even the minutest role in this process will bear in mind Article 296 of the 1992 Constitution on the exercise of discretion, and will act in a manner that safeguards and enhances the independence and image of the judiciary. Justice emanates from the good people of Ghana and is administered by the judiciary headed by the Chief Justice. The Ghana Bar Association shall carry out its mandate to defend, strengthen, and enhance confidence in the justice delivery system of Ghana. The Ghana Bar Association remain the conscience of the society, the voice of the voiceless, and acts to safeguard the rule of law and uphold the Constitution of the Republic, which embodies the wishes and aspirations of the people of Ghana. End. Dated in Accra, 24th day of April. Now, I'd like to look at something that the GBA is saying. They talk about the spirits of the law. I'd like to explain it a little bit, if we can, if we have time. It says that, it starts from here. It is the hope and belief of the Ghana Bar Association that the actors involved in the whole process would have the time-tested tenets of the rule of law as their guiding principle, and in its application, follow the spirit of the law. The spirit of the law. In French, it is called Esprit le loi. Esprit le loi. Esprit le loi was a title of the book written in 1778 and published in Paris by Baron de Montesquieu. In Esprit le loi, Montesquieu advances the argument of separation of powers, checks and balances. Montesquieu, Baron de Montesquieu, is a French philosopher. He wrote a book entitled The Spirit of the Laws. In French, Esprit le loi. And in that book, Montesquieu makes a forceful argument since 1778 for separation of powers, checks and balances. So when the Ghana Bar Association goes to use the expression that they should follow the spirit of the law, it is very, very interesting. The spirit of the law is often more important than the letter of the law. The letter of the law, Article 146. The spirit of the law the spirit of the law feels offended when a judge who has been empaneled to hear the injunction application from the Ghanaian about the process, that same said judge is now being named as part of the committee pursuant to the Article 146 process. We wait to see what will happen on the 6th of May, whether the new Chief Justice will change the panel or whether he will leave the panel. And if he leaves the panel, whether His Lordship Justice Asiedu, with the greatest of respect, will come out and say that he cannot be part of both. He will either have to recuse himself from the committee set up by the President, or he will have to recuse himself from the bench, the quorum that is supposed to hear the matter. Let's see what happens. But these are the matters that are pointed to when there's a discussion about the spirit of the law. It feels quite discomforting that after 3 months of such a massive election, in which one side won a total victory, that we should be having the Ghana Bar Association issue a press statement in this manner. And somebody's captured it correctly on Facebook. I saw more than one person. He said, but the GBA statement, it sounds like a dirge. But it sounds like that. There's a lot of sadness in the heart of the Ghana Bar Association when they published this, because they didn't think that 30 years after constitutional rule, they will be writing a statement like this about a removal of a Chief Justice. 30 years after going through J.J. Rawlings, the military dictator who turned himself into a constitutional rule, and a military dictator who started his government in the first term of the NDC with 90% of parliament on his side. The military dictator. He did not remove any Supreme Court judge. Then came John Ajekum Kufuor, the gentle giant. He went to the Supreme Court with Chachuchi Kata matter. He lost. He was defeated by the Supreme Court. Nana Akufo-Addo held a press conference and said that he respects the ruling of the court, but he disagrees with it. No judge was removed. No application came to say that the Article 1 forces this Supreme Court judge who ruled this way, this judge who ruled this way should be removed. Because the NDC and Rawlings were determined that the image that they had in terms of being on the other side of the law would be cleaned up and changed. Then came Professor Mills, about whom enormous pressure was put on to remove Georgina Wood, because they said that Georgina Wood was MPP, because Georgina Wood is Atachia's friend or relative, and Georgina Wood allowed Atachia to go to court on a Sunday with some application, blah, 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 blah. So Georgina Wood should be removed. Professor Mills said, Emia, me to me dam da. Me to me dam as any bit da. Now me, law professor, me dam. It created a problem between Professor Mills and his people. Then came President John Dramani Mahama. Again, there was pressure on him to remove Georgina Wood. He didn't. An election petition was filed against President Mahama. Thankfully, he went through the election petition and he won. In fact, in the election petition, there was an application by the Akufo-Addo side that they wanted the matter on television. The Supreme Court, sitting 9 judges, ruled that the matter cannot be on television. Georgina Wood, by an administrative fiat, indicating that she was doing it in the public interest, decided that the matter should be on television. That's how we got the first election petition. But people went to John Mahama and said, we told you that you should sack the woman. You didn't listen. You see what she's doing? The court has ruled that the thing cannot be on TV. She is putting the thing on TV. You should sack her. John Mahama listened to them, but thought that he would keep with precedent. No need to sack her. No need. So Georgina Wood ran the full term of Mills and John Mahama. 8 years. She ran the full term as Chief Justice. Akufo-Addo came. Her time was up. She left. So Faye Akufo came in. Akufo-Addo had a party for Georgina Wood. I was there, lunch. And to her applause, everybody in the room applauded her for making that decision to put the election petition on television. This was a matter that the court had ruled against. Everybody applauded her because there are some people who think about Ghana, they think about the future. There are some men and some women who think about Ghana, they think about the future. So we all applauded Georgina Wood that day at the Jubilee House hall. Everybody applauded her. She was almost in tears when the president read the citation and said, Madam, you've given to Ghana something significant. She left the scene. Enter Faye Akufo. She became the Chief Justice. Second lady to become the Chief Justice. She ran for 1 year. She left. There was a lot of argument about who was going to be the next Chief Justice. Doche was there. Eni Yeboah was there. I was supporting somebody who didn't get it. I wasn't supporting Doche. I won't tell you who it was, but I had somebody that didn't pay me. I was supporting somebody. Then I'll slip to Akufo-Addo's place and he sees me. He says, hey, Mr. Man. I said, Mr. President, this is your Chief Justice. He said, why are all of you coming? This one wasn't. Leave me alone to make my decision and trust me. I've been at the bar for 35 to 40 years. I'll make a good decision. I said, yes, I will. When I leave, the people call me that, you see? I said, he didn't let me talk. He said that we should leave him. He's been at the bar. He'll make a good decision. So I said, but that's why. So where is the thing going? I said, I don't know. Doche supporters were going. And Yeboah supporters were going. We to our side, we two were going. Lobbying, campaigning. Then we are calling each other. Charlie, the man is there alone. Go. I'll call the Jubilee. Is he there? He's upstairs. Everybody is gone. He said, don't come here or your opponents are here. They are talking about the other man. So wait, when they go, we'll call you. Then they go, they call, say, come. I go, he'll be looking at us. He'll be laughing. He said, okay, tell me, why do you want this judge? You two, you want this judge? Why? Then he'll be laughing at us. He was enjoying it. In the end, he settled on Eni Yeboah. Eni Yeboah became the Lord Chief Justice. His time is up. He left. Then there was a fight. You all remember. There was a fight between Kulendi and Gertrude Tokonu. Somewhere on this side, somewhere on that side. I came here, I did a presentation about why Kulendi should get it. I did another one about why Tokonu should get it. Back and forth, lobbying was going on like crazy. That lobbying, I saw it right from the ringside. I had a ringside seat. So I saw the lobbying, it was going on giddy, 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 giddy. In the end, the president settled on Tokonu to be the Chief Justice, another woman. Today, what seems like political machinations is desperate to remove Justice Tokonu from there as Chief Justice. One person as Chief Justice can derail a whole reset agenda of a government that controls the executive and a government that controls the judiciary, the reset, the legislature. a government that controls the executive and a government that controls the legislature. The research agenda must come into the judiciary. If we lose anything to politics, we should not lose the judiciary to politics. We shouldn't. You may have some judges who may say one thing or the other. And the judges are human beings. They vote. So, yeah, you can have that. When I say they cannot be political, it doesn't mean that they are not political. They don't understand politics. They don't know NDC and PP. They know it. They don't have a choice among a parliamentary candidate from the other. They do. They don't have a choice among one minister and shadow minister. They do. So, that's not what I'm saying. But when we sit down in a conclave as politicians, and we are discussing something about parliament, the president will usually say, but is it by simple majority? Then the people will say, oh yeah. So then we have it. We discuss parliament in pure political terms. We cannot discuss judiciary in political terms. We discuss judiciary in philosophical terms. When we say that the panel of the Supreme Court, are they our people? We don't mean they are party people. We mean, are they philosophically thinking the way we think they should think? Because there are always two philosophies to a legal matter. You have the positivist law and you have the natural law. Is this judge going to think the way we want him to think? Is it when we say the way we want him to think, we don't mean political color. No, we mean legal philosophy. Anyway, you're showing me something. Let's see it, and then we can move on. Am I done with the judiciary story? Okay. Godfrey Dame is here. Now, the latest is that Godfrey Dame here, the former Attorney General, has amended his writ. So on 6th of May, there will be 2 applications before the court in his name. Let's see what the new one says. Were you going to show me something? Yes. The cracks of the AG's case. So let's look at that one. All right. The president exhibited bad faith in the process of removal of the CJ. Okay. Why is he saying that? All right. Godfrey Dame and Asifwa are alleging that the president, John Dramani Mahama, initially exhibited an intention not to hear the CJ before the establishment of a prima facie case. This was further buttressed when the AG made the case that there is no law or case that mandated the president to give the Chief Justice a fair hearing before establishing a prima facie case against the Chief Justice. As you may know, the applications have been filed, and in the Attorney General's response, he's arguing that there's no basis for why the petitions from the president should have been sent to the Chief Justice for a comment. He's wondering why. Why should we do that? And every lawyer is surprised. I don't know whether that's what he meant, but clearly that's what the documents say. So, I don't know. Let's move. Okay, yeah. Secondly, Godfrey Dame and Asifwa is asking Godfrey Dame to tell the court that the president received the petition in February 2024 and waited till the end of March to disclose the receipts of the petitions. All this was while he was undertaking consultations, which consultations were not exposed to the public. 3, that the president and his party faithful who occupy positions of power today, Mustafa Bande, who is the Deputy Operations Director at the presidency and also Deputy General Secretary of the party, and Asiedu Nketia, who is a member of the Parliamentary Services Commission and also chairman of the party, have showed an intention to remove the Chief Justice already. And there is this one says Mahama attacks judges over Supreme Court. Okay, so where we are now is that I will tell you that Justice Tokonu did not come to work today. She didn't. In her place, Justice Bafuboni was at work. Let's take the text messages and then we get to the Tamale story. Are they showing me something here? Mustafa Bande says, I want Gertrude Tokonu removed. She lacks integrity. Mustafa Bande on 14th April. He says, Mustafa, I want Gertrude Tokonu removed. She lacks integrity. So, yes, Gertrude Tokonu has been suspended. Let's see what the text messages are saying. And then we go to our Tamale conversation, which should be really, really interesting. That's where we'll get to Minta Akando. Is that his name? Yes, Minta Akando, that's his name. Text messages.
So on the Ghana Bar Association, now February says, we support the decision of the Ghana Bar Association on the removal of the Chief Justice. The petitioners and the NDC government want to tell we Ghanaians that cases that lawyers have been arguing to win is nothing but an influence on judges' verdict. Mohammed Yusufa, on the contrary, thinks that the Ghana Bar Association statement is very empty, and in fact, their silence was even better than this weak, lame statement of theirs. Now he says, we need an explanation from the former Chief Justice Sufaya Akufu for abstaining from the vote on the removal of the Chief Justice by the Council of State. Now Mesa Kwamela says, Paul, is John Mahama-led administration going to waste all the 4 years in which hunting their political opponent, same day he sacked the CJ, a chief executive, and caused arrest of a demonstrator from another political party who was telling the world about Boku crisis? Now, Joe Anang says, just when Mr. Edu Boahen sued the AG, acting CJ directs that all cases be referred to him for court selection and judges empaneling. This is a really nice coincidence. Now, Abdul Ganil says, we are just justifying colonization. Seems we can't manage our affairs very unfortunately. The minister said he set up a committee to investigate and report to him in 2 weeks. Why can't the minister wait till the committee completes its work before any decision is taken at the first place? The manner the CEO was sacked was also very rushed, and we can't succeed with this approach. We should be reminded that this is a hospital we're dealing with and not a school. The clock is ticking and lives are at risk while we are still engaging in this gimmicks. Dr. Bawa Abdullahi has been appointed as the CEO of Tamale Teaching Hospital a day after Dr. Atiku's removal. Did Akando's visit aim at finding a justification to remove the old CEO to pave the way for their party member, give a dog a bad name, and hang it? Now, lastly, Safiano Adams says, good evening, Paul. The scenario between the AG and the Dubois is now like the bone chasing the dog. That is what happens if you don't have evidence of your claims, but run to the media with empty allegations to get a score. What do you have for us, Kobe?
All right, so I'll say Adokufo says, in fact, he sent 2 texts. He says, it really saddens me when a housefly decides to follow a corpse to the cemetery. You can imagine that what will happen to it. All shall pass. The Egyptian you see today, you shall see them no more. And his other text is it not these people who said they are raising women to high levels? Then why are they pulling those women from the top? They were all over this country when they chose the female running mate, telling us that they believed in women more than the MPP. I'm just asking you. Now, Raymond Akakea says, did Ghanaians sell the country to the General Mosquito-led NDC party? Is Mahama the president of Ghana, or is the Seydou Nketia the one truly in charge? From the security institutions to the judiciary and the health sector, everything is under fire. The current Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, took his entire family to Dubai at the expense of Ghanaian taxpayers, and the babies with sharp teeth see nothing wrong with that, Abi. May God save Ghana in these trying times. Now, Isifu says, this isn't a reset, NDC are just trying to do booga tactics to get themselves that public sympathy. Now, finally, Ali Obama GH says, the situation at Tamale Teaching Hospital is more complex than just the CEO. It also involves the administrative staff. The hospital is reportedly home to 2 main political groups. Group 1 is affiliated with the MPP, while Group 2 is aligned with the NDC, a dichotomy that has existed for over 20 years. Interestingly, Group 2 has traditionally fought with Group 1 members when the MPP is in power, so that the government will not succeed, with the same happening to Group 2 when NDC is in power. TTH, or Tamale Teaching Hospital, will never function well until positions in such sectors are not appointed by politicians. Now back to you, Paul.
Well. We're running out of time, but we're going to have that interview with DJ Tell, who is in the studio. He's joining us now. We hear everything what's happening in Tamale, from what happened in the hospital, what is the gossip around, what do people know, what do they know about the new CEO. I understand that he was a parliamentary candidate for the NDC this recent election, 2024. The guy was a parliamentary candidate against Mohamed Amin Anta. The new Tamale, the new boss, the new doctor, he was a parliamentary candidate for the NDC. So he's a politician. I don't know whether he's going to resign to take up a public service job, or I don't know whether we stop doing that, whether politicians can do public service. I'm not sure what the rule is. But anyway, we'll look at it. So TJ Tell is in the studio. We'll be talking to him after the break. Send me the questions you want to know about Tamale. I'll ask him everything. We'll be right back.
Even the minister, look at the way you are behaving. So even from the minister, so you can imagine how you can imagine how you but you see, how can you behave like this? So it means that you're doing worse things here. It means that you're doing worse things here.
Honorable,
I mean, you open your superiors. Look at how you are arguing. There's a problem. There's a problem here. So if a commoner comes here, can you imagine what? How can somebody talk to this man here? How will he be able to communicate with you here?
Student comes here. How will he deal with it?
There's a problem.
There's nothing worse than your multi-bet missing, but nothing better than having it saved. Bet Saver. And Yao. After hours of planning, both have locked in the same perfect multi-bet. Big win for United, over 1.5. And both teams to score in the London Derby. But who could have picked Leicester over City? Or a high-scoring game at the Bridge? There's nothing worse than having your perfect multi-bet missing. But there's nothing better than having it saved. Bet Saver. Win, even if your bet misses.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Avoiding injuries, easy. Winning, easy. But you know what be easy now? Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted granules. Just add water, then sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy, made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
This advert is FDA approved.
Look around. Home also need a makeover. Mine clearly does. So we went to Ashroom and found the Como collection. It had everything we're looking for and more. Matching furniture for the entire home, designed with you in mind.
Where's Como collection? Dressing up is just a breeze. Always ready with a perfect accessory.
A magic dressing mirror. One look and you're ready to face the world. Or at least the kids.
A bed perfect for young men who want
a table that turns into a treasure chest.
And finally, a sofa with this grand TV unit for family time at home.
Head over to any Ashfoam store now and discover the new Como collection. Ashfoam, feel it, know it.
Fire pomudi ni agubi. Kana fueni aje. If you say ya your local spices na ya frafra dia ya sankofa natural spice.
Me de go me jollof mu. Ni mi sti wa hodoma. E ma ne dance.
Stanley, the barbecue they go on.
Sankofa natural spices. And one you use 100% natural.
Adofo, mamunye huge mistake. Sankofa natural spices. Didier.
FDA agi ejedi nkratu yatu.
Brush, 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 brush your teeth. Brush, 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 2 times a day. Brush like Kel-Kit.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kel-Kit toothpaste. Wow. I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky chicky whiter, chicky chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kel-Kit, happy smile.
the answer to my prayer. You're with me everywhere. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need tonight. Give me shelter from the rain. You breathe life in me again. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need to know tonight.
Let's get polytan.
Oh, and you're right.
Go straight.
Oh, I want to left, right.
That's right. Ghana na ye wono. So when you do more, any a data. Oh no! Abe, na here. Me pe polytan ka to. Enu tin ta me nua ba otu ko bia be na ba ha yo. O fu ka bia e de enjoy ye kura.
Akuya bulambu kotoman. Emu ha.
Like they took my eyes. Go to the distributor and you give the original polytank. Polytank. You hear the sound?
Polytank. Papananka Sankasa.
After this fufu and pepper soup, I go score goals like them the dash points.
Kivo 100% natural hot pepper. Good for your jollof, stew, soup, shito, spaghetti, and noodles. Kivo hot pepper. Boku show.
I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kivo 100% natural hot pepper. Champion taste.
This advert is FDA approved.
At the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, DVLA, our mission is to promote good driving standards on our roads and other public places. We can only achieve this by ensuring that every driver and vehicle owner has access to quality services and the right information to stay compliant with road safety regulations. This is why we are excited to introduce the 2025 National Community Outreach Program, an initiative designed to bring our services and education closer to the public. This initiative is to actively engage transport unions, corporate entities, and communities. We invite you to stay connected as we bring DVLA services right to your doorstep. At DVLA, your safety will continue to be our concern.
Cratchy, unemu bua unkoisha Dr. Ban uye denwa.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Yamfan come and me buru.
Mami buru. Don't ya tell me ko bra. Mumi yamfan ko Dr. Ban ho. Dr. Ban o ya de. Bra, se ban no mpemu adwuma sasabro sro Dr. Ban o ye.
Say ni kemi kwa na meka. Oh no mpemu nimdi ono na ye expect nya zanfo no. O akra any Kumasi no mpemu expect yen kan kire wo.
There's nothing worse than your multi-bet missing, but nothing better than having it saved. Bet Saver.
So we invited DJ Tell to come from Tamale to tell us a story because we don't like hearsay. This one said and I said and they said. DJ Tell, how did your day start yesterday?
Yesterday,
anyway, how's the flights from Tamale? Welcome. We have to give you water traditionally.
For some time now, yeah, I had to, but I couldn't bring. But for some time now, I've been driving to Accra.
Driving?
Yeah. You know, sometimes when I'm coming to stay for 1 or 2 weeks, I have to drive here.
Yeah, because you need your car with you.
But this one, just for a short period, so I had to fly.
Okay.
Can't get to see you. Thank you.
So how was the flight?
It was okay, as usual. Just 45 minutes away in Accra.
Was Haruna Idrisu on the flight?
No, no politician today.
So how did your day start yesterday? How did you hear about this Tamale hospital issue?
Yeah, it didn't just start yesterday, especially in this recent issue about 4 days ago, 3 days ago when it started. But when it started, I didn't go there anyway. I was not even aware that the minister was in Tamale. Apparently, when that happened, they invite some journalists. I'm not a print, I'm not the news type. I'm a radio presenter, but sometimes when the story comes, I take it on my show and I do justice with that. But I just wake up, social media, current social media trends. I go on social media and I saw videos. I listened to issues. I called some few of the journalists. What happened today? I was told. Yesterday I was at the hospital to just ask some 2 or 3 questions because somebody called me from Tunisia. He's a Ghanaian. He traveled to Tunisia, one of the MPP guys, and was also asking me. And he was saying that he wanted to give the hospital some 4 or 5 boreholes and wanted me to go and check if there's some boreholes there, so I could get back. Only yesterday he called me in the evening and was telling me that he doesn't want to do it again. And when I asked why, he said the thing is taking a political trend, that he has been told that the CEO who has just been appointed is an NDC person. And so if he's coming to do it, it looks like the other guy was not doing anything better, except that this new one is doing something better. And he's an NPP person. And so if he's taking a political dimension, it will be very difficult for he as a politician and as an NPP member to come and work. That's a very unfortunate issue yesterday. But I went there, I asked questions. What I had was, apart from the minister's visit, some boreholes was dark in the past, but I think it's not functioning now, But straightforward to the minister's visit, the issue of TTH currently, what we hear from Tamale didn't just start now. Paul, I can tell you, with all sincerity, I spoke about this 5 years ago.
Spoke about what?
About the issues going on.
What are the issues?
The issues is negligence. The issues is patients being treated anyhow. The issues is being nurses, who are supposed to be working and paid by the taxpayer are not doing what they're supposed to do. Generally negligence, they don't take their work serious. And so because I'm a radio presenter and they know I speak to issues, when they go and things like that happen, they report to me. Just like they report to the chief palace or any other place. They believe I have the voice, and so they report to me. So whilst I was on my former station back then, 5 years ago, I had several reports. I said, hey, this thing, I have to check it out. So I follow up, and it was all the same. When I go there, I'm a popular person. They try to just be nice to me because I'm a popular person and they know I have the voice. But behind closed doors, what they do to people there is just uncalled for.
Who does what to people?
Doctors, nurses. The administrators don't even come here because they are the regulators. From the health director to administrators to the CEO. But the primary issue has to do with the doctors and nurses. Because when the patients go there, they don't go to meet the CEO.
Yeah, they see the doctors and
nurses. They see the doctors and the
but
nurses.
You think there's a general attitude of lackadaisicalness?
Yes. That's what myself, I followed a friend there with a wife to the hospital. We sat there. We had a chest pain. We went there somewhere 10 p.m. for close to 2 hours. There was no doctor in any of the consulting rooms. We have to take her to a private hospital.
Maybe the doctors are not enough, so they've closed.
Whatever be, there should be a doctor there. Whether enough or not, at least there should be a doctor there. A doctor was supposed to be on duty, who was not around, said by a nurse. And at the OPD, when we went, the girl was sleeping. We wake her up, and she was not even ready to, process S2. The kind of, she was feeling sleepy. And so I saw that negligence. And so I advised he was the chief, I advised him to take us to one of the nearest private hospital. That's not the case. The case here has to do with, like I said, the primary issue has to do with the doctors and the nurses. Negligence. Now, the doctor visit was not even on the doctors.
The minister's visit?
The minister's visit was not even on the doctors or the nurses. Meanwhile, that is the center of the problem. The administrators regulate people there. They are in the office processing whatever papers and whatever. The CEO is supposed to supersede, talk and regulate everything there. Yes, he's a human being. He talks, go back to the office. He's not a doctor there. He's not a nurse there. He's not privy to what is happening there unless they report to him. Now, what I found wrong about the minister visit, let me first of all congratulate and appreciate him on behalf of Tamale, for coming. For coming alone is something. But I didn't see it coming like what I saw yesterday. That has to do with going there and putting cameras on himself, talking to a doctor, a professional doctor, somebody with expertise who has been working there for so long, on a camera, talking to him like a small boy or somebody who doesn't even know his job. He is not an administrator. He is a doctor there. You understand me? So that was what I found wrong, and the kind of the tone he used during the conversation around. Apart from that, Paul, I've always said that getting to the Minister of Health in Accra here is like getting to His Excellency the President of Ghana. Now, we have a Northern Regional Health Directorate. In fact, we have a Northern Regional Director who is supposed to be the regulator of this particular administration or this particular facility. That is one. We have the Mayor of Tamale. We have the Regional Minister representing the President. These are the three people or three officers that are supposed to...
And maybe even the MCs, if you come down from
the mayor is there who can represent all of them. So let's just limit it to Tamale Metro, the regional minister, and the health director. What are they doing about the situation? What does it have to take the minister to fly from Accra to Tamale to shout on a doctor? What is the use of the health director? That is,
Should that not be a question for the minister? Should he not be calling
That is where I'm coming. I'm throwing some questions here. That is why people are saying that the thing was staged. That's what the thing was saying. They were saying that it was just mere populism and they are not willing to work. That's what people are saying because of the actions yesterday. Now, Paul, I am sad that the thing at the TTH is taking a political turn, which is very suicidal. It has always been so. This is because the president is the sole person, remains the appointing authority at the TTA for several years now. It didn't just start with President Mahama. In fact, during his tenure, last 8 years, he appointed somebody. When President Akufo-Addo came, he appointed somebody. In fact, in a nutshell, they have the appointed authority. What it means is that it's a political appointment.
Yes.
Now, in the facility, we have nurses who are MPP nurses. We have nurses who are NDC nurses. We have doctors who are NDC doctors, and we have doctors who are MPP doctors.
In that hospital?
Yes.
And they are known, they know.
Most of them we know, most of them we don't know. These doctors equally have private, most of them, not all of them, equally have private hospitals around Tamale. Now, none of these CEOs will be able to work because of politics. There's instances somebody can just leave his house, walk to the hospital with a machete and chase out a CEO in the name of MPP or NDC.
Are you serious?
Yes, it has happened before. I'm sure Dr. Kolibila, during the first tenure of when President Akufo-Addo came, the first 2 years, one of my friends in Accra, in Tamale, went there single-handedly and chased out a CEO.
That his NDC should go?
Yes. Yes.
He had been there for long?
I think he wasn't an NDC, but he wasn't his candidate. Apparently.
Oh, this is an Akufo-Addo appointee.
That's right.
And then an MPP person who doesn't like
him had to go there.
Took machete.
Yes, and sack him. Apparently, that wasn't his candidate. He wanted somebody else. You understand me? This is because it has been politicized. People have candidates who they want to be in the office. So in the case you choose me, I am not a preferred candidate of a different person, and you take me there. Somebody can, fabricate stories around it and push it to the media or push it to social media to get me ousted. And that has been the case for several years. Now, one of the issues one of the things I said on radio was that, because of course, if you are criticizing, we must give way forward. The appointing authority should be the president. Yes, we agree. The president wants the well-being of the hospital. We agree. The minister wants it. We agree. Tamale North MP was there. We agree. They all want it. Why don't we just bring it to the doorstep of the local people? One, we have His Royal Highness, the Ndanyana, the Chief of Dagbang. We have the regional minister, and we have the mayor. Paul, you recall that even before mayors were appointed, original ministers were appointed. President Mahama gave it to the local authorities to vet them and advise him as to who to pick. Why is it not so? Because the teaching hospital served Northerners and Dagomba at large. In fact, Dagombas, we have the majority there. Now, why is the President Akufo-Addo or John Mahama says that, okay, fine, regional minister, who among your people do you think when we pick can do the job and do justice to the job, and there will never be favoritism or whatsoever? That question has never been thrown to anyone. Now, the mayor is there. Why don't we vet people? Let's see what they can do together with the chiefs of Tamale, so that if it goes wrong, then His Royal Highness will have to call the president and tell him that, look, this man, we are taking him off. So say and so happen. So that nobody at any point can fabricate stories against any other person. The long and short of the story is politics. It's politics. Yes, it is true that there's no water at TTH. It is true. For which reason, washrooms were locked down, directed by the CEO or whoever, I don't know, but that's what they're telling us, that it was directed by the CEO. And the reason was that there was no water at the TTH. So, I mean, that was supposed to be locked. If there's no water, what do? You have to lock the bathrooms to the detriment of the patients. That was the issue there. Now, the ministers coming to shout, Paul, would that bring water to TTH? Coming to shout on doctors, would that bring water to TTH?
It was more about equipment than water. It was more about working equipment, working tools, that something is broken down, it's not working. And
Paul, the issue is not just about equipment. In cases, there are equipments. In the case of the death of the gentleman, they were, I am told, that the ICU had 2 empty beds, but they told him there was no bed. Is that the case of the equipment? Or?
No, but when you look at an ICU bed that there's no one on it, it may not mean that it's empty. That there's no patient lying on it at the time you are looking at it may not mean that the bed is empty.
So somebody's dying. Somebody needs a ventilator at a point. At that particular point, there was a bed there. Paul, Alice.
Maybe the bed sheets are infested. Maybe the last person there is an HIV patient.
But that was not explained. That is the case.
Sometimes they don't explain, and I have to agree.
That's right. Okay,
sometimes these are people.
So the story here is not just about equipment. It is negligence. In most cases, yes, my dad died in front of me at the hospital in 2008, where he bled profusely through his plaque. He couldn't urinate, and they had to pass a tube for him.
Had a prostate?
I don't know. Some complications. I can't tell. I may not be able to tell. That he could not urinate. A nurse was called to take off the pipe so that he would try and do it naturally. She came, a female nurse, and she covered, my dad. We were not even seeing before we realized the blood was springing out like water from his prick. Close to 15 minutes, blood was coming up.
And he died?
Quickly. No, he was still even lying there. So quickly they called the doctor. The doctor apparently went to his private hospital. So they called the doctor on duty. We waited for him to come. He came and saw a classmate somewhere outside. So the nurse said, oh, if you don't go and tell him, the doctor is out there talking. Rush and tell him. If you don't tell him, he'll come. I went and told him. He said, oh, why? I can't tell him and teach him his job. I should leave him. He's conversing with somebody. He's coming. He was there. He came. He examined my dad and said, no, quickly, we need to get blood for him. Other than that, in the next 30 minutes, he will die. He wrote something for me to go to the blood bank. I got to the blood bank, and the guy on duty was locking the blood bank. When I said, oh, we need blood at this, urgently. He said, no, he's tired, and the guy who to take over is not coming. There's nothing he can do. That was when I started. In fact, I became furious. I became angry. I started shouting. So some people came and started begging him. So he went back, brought out the blood in their cases, and it was in the fridge. So it was somehow I don't know how to describe it. It became ice. And so when I brought it, the doctor said he's sorry. There's nothing he can do about the blood. We need to put it down for it to melt. Before he could infuse it to my dad. The blood was lying there. Within some 15-30 minutes, my dad passed on. The blood, we got the blood, but I have to struggle for close to 1 hour to
So
get
you're
the blood.
thinking that if the doctor was not in his private hospital, if he had been there,
That's right.
and if the blood guy was there,
That's right.
by
Some
the time,
maybe
yeah,
something like that. So that is negligence. What you are saying is that maybe lack of equipment. The blood was there. The doctor was supposed to be there. He was not there.
So you think that TTH has an attitudinal issue?
That is it.
Everybody in Tamale can relate to this.
That is it. Hey, if you open your phone lines and ask Tamale people to call you to give you their issues, explain their issues or their experiences at TTH, you won't close the show. Paul, it is not a small joke.
It's a beautiful hospital.
It is very beautiful edifice, but it's a white elephant.
It's a white elephant?
It is. You need to visit it. Look, the problem here is not managerial. The problem here is the attitude of the doctors and the nurses. The CEO they ousted yesterday or 2 days ago is as innocent as everybody, as a little baby. Very innocent. The problem is not him. The problem is politics. Look, it is on the government. It is within his powers to constitute a board for the
hospital. Yeah,
for the hospital.
There's a board.
Yes, I'm sure there's still board. I'm sure President Mohammed is here to consider a new board. But during Akufo-Addo time, there were people on the board who doesn't have anything, who doesn't have the know-how of whatever happened at ETH. For political reasons, they were there. You know, these are politicians from MPP. These are politicians from NDC. So if the CEO is an opposite party person, do you think they will allow him to work? So there's something behind. It's not just about the CEO. Yes, I saw who they appointed yesterday. Paul, you'll be surprised. The thing currently is even taking a political twist. Now, instead of we are supposed to congratulate him, people are showing his party colors on a poster where he was supposed to contest for an MP in Karaga, against Honorable Dandawa, the former MP who Dr. Amin Anta, defeated.
So he lost the primaries.
He lost the primaries.
This is the new CEO.
Yeah, he lost the primaries. So instead of seeing him as an expert, seeing him as somebody who can work, already we are looking at it at politics. We are taking a political twist, making it look like, oh, in fact, they wanted to even sack him and bring their person. What is the expertise of the person? What can he do? We are not looking at that. So now, the guy has been appointed. So because of NDC, he should come and do anything and go. No, this is a time we need to be united as Tamale people and fight to make sure that TTH workers and CEO put their toes to deliver and give quality service to the people of Tamale. You and I know that even currently the health insurance is not working. People go there and pay, cash and carry. You understand me? And yet they are treated that way. So I am disappointed in people, especially politicizing the whole thing. So I'll say again, the way forward should be the appointing authority should remain the president, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. By appointing the person he appointed yesterday, who did he ask about him? As to whether he can do the job or not, no one knows. He didn't ask anybody. And so I was thinking that he could give it to the regional minister, the mayor, and His Royal Highness, the Danyana, to look around, because usually they pick our people from the north. You understand me? Just like the mayor and the regional minister. Look around to see who they will pick to work dispassionately, devoid of politics or any other thing. That didn't happen. President Mahama just handpicked somebody and put him there. Already the person is an NDC person. Can that person work with that particular scenario, seeing him as with a political lens and seeing him as an NDC person?
But NDC is the overwhelming popular party in the area where you are coming from, where you are talking
whether
about.
we like it or not, even if you have two haters in the MPP, they can disrupt your work. Even if you have 5 people in order who have MPP, they can disrupt your work. If they don't want you to work, you won't work. They will sabotage you. They will have a way. These are doctors who don't even know their party colors. It's hidden. But they might be fighting the CEO because it's NDC. You understand me? So yes, Paul, it has happened. The minister came, shouted, it has happened. I appreciate his coming, but what he did there, together with my big brother, Alassane Suheni, was uncalled for. I never expected that. It's administrative lapses. The minister came back to Accra and wrote a letter to sack the CEO. The CEO has an office. Go around, do your inspection, and get to the CEO office. whoever is supposed to be summoned should be called to the office.
That's better.
Yes, to be called.
You don't exchange words with
No,
the
that was
doctor
wrong.
on the
to be
ward.
called to the office, and if you want to shout on that person,
without camera.
If you want to shut that person, do it there. The doctor. That is why you are asking about the latest of the TTA. Currently, as we speak, the doctors are on strike. They are demanding apology from the minister. That with an apology, they are not coming back to work. And beyond the apology, they are saying they listed some equipments that even if they are coming back to work, those equipments must be in place before they come to work. Today, I listened to the minister. He spoke. I thought he was coming to even say, okay, fine, we are together. What happened was just a mere banter between myself and you, so I apologize, my dear doctors, go back to work. He made it look like, after all, he was right. You can be right towards the CEO you appointed there politically. The doctors just are experts of their work. And so deal with the CEO differently and deal with the doctors. So if you deal with the CEO shouting on him, you can't shout on the doctors like that, because you don't. The issue is not about doctors, but the issue is about managerial problems. Apologize to them and let them go back to work. As I'm talking to you now, Paul, there is no doctors on, at the TTH. This is because they are demanding an apology from the minister, which I believe they have the right to do that. The minister, how many minutes will you pick a video, what's it called, a phone video or whatever you use, and apologize? Just because in the interest of the people, in the interest of the patients who are admitted at the hospital, needing the doctor's services. That is not done. The video is circulating and is asking them to go back to work without an apology. Now the doctors have written back, Ghana Medical Association, to tell them that they still demand and they are not going back. That is the state of the matter. Beyond that, the minister has given some equipments they asked for, if not all, but some, to the hospital. That was what he said he donated. I perfectly agree with you, where you said they donated to him. The equipment is government equipment.
Yes. So the donation
bought by the taxpayers money, and so you can't say you are donating. I mean, you distributed some what's it called, some equipments to the hospital. I think a part of their demands have been met this afternoon. I think they're still just waiting for the apology. So I want to use your platform to plead with the minister to do just that. It won't take anything away from him. Just apologize to them for what you did. I saw everything wrong about that. You don't have to come and shout on people like that. You are the big man. Bring them to your office and talk to them. If you have to sack any other person, it is within your rights to do that. You can do that in your office. You didn't write the letter on camera. You wrote it in your office. Why couldn't you sit in your office and summon people? Even the CEO office, and summon people and sack them.
Are the doctors asking for the reinstatement of the old CEO?
No, they have no right to do that. They have no right. It's political thing. Their work is to just come there and work. The CEO is gone. Whether he was ousted yesterday or tomorrow, I'm sure President Mahama would have still taken him off because there's change of government. But the way it happens, it looks like the stage. It looks like they just wanted to just do something. What do I say? Tag him with some bad name and sack.
But he didn't do anything wrong. If you look at the video, he was only guiding the minister for the tour.
Yes,
he wasn't the one the minister had the altercation.
That's right. I understand, but he inspected the place and made it look like it's a managerial problem. It was not even about the doctors. The doctor was only wanting to explain what is happening within their system. But the minister wanted to shut him and made it look like he doesn't respect what his authority or whatsoever. You understand me? But the CEO for some time now, it's not just about the minister visit. Before the minister visit, we had those problems going on. Listen to this hypocrisy. Paul, 5 years ago, I sat on my show and said a lot about the hospital. I didn't even talk about managerial people or people who are managing it. I spoke at length about the doctors and nurses, about the way they behave and the way they appear lackadaisically towards patients at the hospital. In the process, one of the nurses in the hospital went on social media and insulted me to a point of calling me a local DJ who doesn't even know his left from right. In turn,
and the nurse identified herself as a nurse from the hospital.
She was a nurse. I don't want to mention name. She gave it to me. I gave it back to her. So it became a banter between myself and her. But guess what? Opinion leaders in Tamale and some people in Tamale supported the lady. They forgot about the issue. I spoke about the TTH, brought it down, limited it to my fight with the lady, and supported him. The Nurses Association took me to the police station and got me to retract and apologize to the lady. And that was it. And there I said to myself that I will never speak about the TTH. The hypocrisy of our people we can't just imagine and explain the type of hypocrisy they meted out to me during that particular era. I was pissed off, trying to bring things to order. You brought it and limited it to myself and that particular nurse and supported her. My colleague radio presenters went on radio, constituted panel, and insulted me. Oh, yes, for saying that. Today, same presenters are on radio talking about the hospital. You understand me? I said on my show 2-3 days ago that particular hypocrisy will never allow us to forge forward. But I'm sorry, nothing. Paul, you can mark it down. A CEO has been appointed. Nothing. You have your calendar, mark it down. Nothing will change.
Nothing will change.
Nothing will change.
The minister will find himself going there again.
John Mama can even go there. He should go there with the Council of Elders. He can go there with the judges. He can go there with every president, including President Trump, to the hospital. Nothing will happen.
Until when? Until what?
Until the kingdom come.
What has to be done?
Now, until we depoliticize the whole issue. Now, that should be the limit. We need to take politics out of it.
When you say depoliticize, what does it mean?
It is politicized. Everything about the hospital is politicized. Just yesterday, CEO was appointed, and what we were doing was to tell his party colors instead of asking about his expertise, technically his know-how.
Yeah, I saw the credentials. He's a member of the NDC Health Committee. He's a member of this NDC committee.
And coincidentally, he's even a co-founder of a hospital with the embattled CEO. The CEO who was outside yesterday, he's even a co-founder, University something at the Botba around the TTH. They co-founded a clinic, an hospital. In fact, they are friends, and they all coming from the UDS. Lecturers. They are all lecturers from the University for Development Studies, so they know each other very well. I cannot doubt Dr. Atek, the CEO who just left us, the hospital. I can never doubt his expertise. I can't doubt his brains. The person who is coming can equally do the job if we give him the needed support. But the only thing we can use to abort and stop their work is politics. Paul, I just gave you a task. Mark it down. And you call me back on this show and ask what is happening again. Nothing will happen. John Dramani Mahama just appointed without asking anybody about the man, without asking the regional minister.
So the point you are making is that the leadership, the appointment of the leadership must be by consensus.
That's right.
If we can get that, then we are getting policies out of.
That's right. Just like the mayor was appointed. The mayor went. Yes, the mayor went through vetting. The regional minister, I'm sure, was recommended to the president to pick because he is not in Northern Region. President Mahama is in Accra. Anything that happened at the TTH, he doesn't even know. So he should put them like His Royal Highness, I'm calling his name for the third time, is in office. He's a local authority. He's a local authority.
You mean the Yana?
Yes, the Yana. He owns that bank. He has his sub-chiefs who are placed in Tamale itself. In fact, the Royal Highness is even powerful than that. He has the Gutenais there and other sub-chiefs are in Tamale. They can be given that tax. The regional minister went. Can you imagine? There was an issue with the imams and malams during the Ramadan. At a point, some of them started insulting each other.
The malams?
The malams during the Ramadan. Yes, not all of them. Some few of them. The regional minister took it upon himself to the Yana. The regional minister couldn't talk to them. You know why? He was very, very, very careful. He didn't want to politicize it. So he went to the Yana.
But are the malams to NDC MPP?
If he's not careful, the party colors will emanate. Everybody will get to know the malams party colors. They will begin to say that, okay, you are NDC regional minister. When the MPP was there, why didn't you call us? So he was careful, and I appreciate that. He went to the Yana to call them. And when the Yana called them, he cautioned them and begged them to go back. When they came, they were at peace. You know why? The Yana, nobody voted the Yana. The Yana, if you say something and you talk back, you'll be arrested and locked up. You'll be summoned at the chief palace and you'll be dealt with. Now, what I'm trying to put across here is that If the Yana put a CEO there, through giving it to John Dramani Mahama to appoint, nobody born of another person can go to the hospital and do anything against him. If the Yana say, okay, fine, I am putting him there, whatever be the case, come to me. Can anybody do anything? The man will have power to sack and do whatever at the hospital, and nobody can say anything. And so it should be in consensus. It should be in consultation with the local authorities. It should be in
Why are you sure that this appointment that has been made was not by that consultation process?
No, we didn't hear that. It was.
You may not hear that happens.
No, but it happened too early. Just in a week of coming to shout on doctors and see you. The next day you were fired. The second day you appointed. You know, that couldn't have happened. How could that have happened in just 2-3 days? You know, the vetting of the mayors took close to 1 month or 2. Vetting of the Tamale mayor, just Tamale mayor, 2 months or 1 month or 2. Why? They needed to get a proper person to man the affairs of the metropolis. Why can't that happen? Especially the TTH is the biggest employer of Northern Region. No institution in Ghana has the number of workers than the TTH. So a lot of our brothers are there. They are feeding on from the hospital. Why can't we take care of that? So I urge that local authorities must come on board. President Mahama must involve people going forward, because it has been appointed. Let's see what happens. But going forward, you have to involve people. The regional minister, the mayor, the Northern Regional Health Director, the Gutenais in Tamale, and some other chiefs, representing the Yana. The Gutenai represent the Yana. Involve them. Who are we picking this time? So if there's a problem, we are not going to blame President Mahama, because he's our person. We brought him. But today, people are even blaming President Mahama for politicizing it because he has appointed somebody who went to Karaka to contest.
Let me keep you for 5 more minutes, but let me take a few text messages. When we come back, I'll ask you about Boku and what is happening in Boku. And for those of you who live in Tamale, are you concerned about the fact that the fighting, if it's not stopped, can get all the way to Tamale? And please bring DJ Tell a white towel. He's sweating. Okay, who should I start with? Kobe, what are people saying about this Tamale incident?
All right, thank you, Paul. So, Ramatu Abubakari says, Mr. Tell is hammering the nail in the right position. The doctors at the regarding the doctors at the hospital, most of them have their own private hospital. When you are transferred there, they will tell you to visit their private hospital for treatment. If not, your patient will be left there to die. If you don't know anyone at the hospital, the problems at TTH is very serious, Mr. Paul. Now, Yao Febri says, Dr. Tell's illustrations mean the argument between the doctor and the health minister was an orchestrated attempt by the minister to show to we Ghanaians that the CEO of Tamale Teaching Hospital was incapacitated and incompetent. So that is why he was sacked. And Abubakar Awufu says, why should the local people be appointing authorities in a technical area like a teaching hospital? Do you think being a CEO of a hospital is like selecting a coordinating director? Now finally, NY Asamoah says, Paul, I worked there, past tense, and the people have tribalized and politicized everything. Everyone knows a chief and some hooligans, and you cannot punish people. Now what do you have for us, Antoinette?
Right. So still on the situation at the Tamale Teaching Hospital, Isaac says, in fact, the issue at the Tamale Teaching Hospital is very dire, and there is the need for the minister to apologize and appeal to the doctors to return to post. Interestingly, TTH is referral center for all the hospitals in the 5 northern regions, so the strike is affecting most of these patients, particularly those with cancer. Now, Maleki Abdul Razak says, it's only in Tamale Teaching Hospital that 4 out of 5 lab tests are done outside and at a recommended lab. If you bring your lab results from a different laboratory apart from the recommended private ones, they will all be rejected. Now, NY Asamoah says he's telling DJ that you do not need Yana and Co to meddle in the appointment of the CEO. He thinks that a non-indigent should be brought on board, which will be a better option. Now, Jonathan is asking, is DJ saying that if you are not from the northern region or a Dagomba, you cannot be a CEO in Tamale Teaching Hospital? It looks like this is the reason there is a problem in the health industry. Now, Abdul Razak Golden says the Dr. Ken Sego was not a Notna. He supervised him at the graduate school, and he is the best CEO TTH has ever had. Now, Yao February is making reference to DJ's illustrations, and he says it would mean that the argument between the doctor and the health minister was an orchestrated attempt by the minister to wig Ghanaians that the CEO of Tamale Teaching Hospital was incapacitated and incompetent, which is why he was ousted. Now, Abubakar Awufu says, why should the local people be appointing authorities in the technical area? And lastly, Saidu Abdul says, how can you nominate someone with a background in statistics, mathematics, and law to become a health minister? It is funny sometimes that cotton wool becomes a problem at our various facilities, not to talk about gloves and other PPEs. Don't we have health professionals who can be nominated as health ministers? Now back to you, Paul.
All right, well, it's a Thursday, so we are taking some liberties. We'll keep you for another 5 minutes, viewers, and then we should be fine. Digital, Boku.
Yes. Even before I come there, I'm not saying that the yard now should appoint.
Yeah.
Even if he's going to do that, we should look around and get people with expertise, because in most cases they appoint our people. I'm not saying people shouldn't come to Accra from Accra. That would have even been the best. From Kumasi, people we don't know. But in this case, they have given us our people. So we know them very well. So they should look into them and get to know the kind of people they are picking. I'm not saying that Yana should be the appointing authority, no. But in consultation with the local authorities, so that together they can get the best people and put him in the hands of the Yana.
But once the Yana comes in, it's a non-partisan process.
That's right. That's what I'm trying to say. Just in the process of depoliticizing the whole issue. For the issue of Boku, I have nothing to say than to say that what is happening there is politically, or what is happening.
The military situation, the violence, are Tamale people feeling that?
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
Back in the day,
on Metro TV, live on television.
And live on television, this is on Metro TV.
People pick the records, and you see every time we wipe the record, there's a reason why we wipe the record, because the records, they gather dust.
These days, people want to be on radio because they think it gets you popular. I mean, back in the day, we could sit there was a place at Trans FM called the Pentagon, and we could have a discussion about songs, and you think it was a political debate.
I remember those days at the Ghana Film Theatre, films were released almost every week. New films, and we saw long queues of people trooping to go to watch films. And then we also had video centers.
But then I think the plus we had was the fact that there were people we looked up to, and we didn't just look up to them. We served them, and they actually taught us.
Yeah. Kofi Dixon and that team started playing Hip Life. When he started playing Hip Life wasn't called Hip Life. It didn't have a name.
You are watching Back in the Days with Sammy B on Metro TV.
Back in the Day on Metro TV is live.
Don't know. I'm sure now you should be regretting it. So to make it look like when they come, there won't be what's it called? War. When MPP is in power, that is when man is a Kusase Nava. That's why he said. So to make it look like you're speaking aside as a leader and as a candidate of the NDC. That was uncalled for and very unfortunate. So if I were him, I would even issue an apology and made it look like what he did was the whole issue to the Asante to mediate, just like the Bombers did. And I'm sure at the end of the day, that is what we should be also be looking at but not trying to divide the people to get vote from them. The MP for Boku, currently, his house was burned down. As I'm talking to you now, he's in Ghana, even in Accra, he might be a target for people. You understand me? Just because of politics. President Mahama promised them of a region, a new region, and some other things. Now, the recent chaos that sparked there was as a result of asking President Mahama to deliver his promise, deliver what he told them to do. You understand me? President Mahama is my father. I respect him so much. But please, he's the president now. He should be seen as the head, of these two people. He should be seen as somebody who brings them together, a mediator, and just like he did giving it to Asante, and take his hands off like he did. And I respect that. Asante is now taking care of that. And I respect what he has done. Going forward, let's take MPP and NDC politics out of that. And I'm sure that Asante will be able to do something about that.
We have to leave it here at 11:30 and promise viewers I'll leave it at 11:30.
The water issue. We didn't even talk about the water issue.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it next week. DJ, you have to come back. We just want to monitor to see whether it's the weather situation or it's Ghana Water Company that has.
It's a Ghana Water Company. It's a Ghana Water Company. Apparently, they are working with some aged machines installed in 1972, 1973.
So it needs retooling.
Yes, there hasn't been any routine maintenance on it. The last time they did some maintenance on it was 1970s, 1973. The last time. So this were Nkrumah Achampon machines. So the demand keep increasing, but the machines are old. It's not because they don't even open pipes. They open, but the demands keep increasing. And the machines are weak to pump water to the communities. So it's just about changing the machines, and that is it. It's obsolete machines, over-age machines they are using. So Ghana Water Company, the workers there has nothing to do. It's the work of the central government. President Mahama must look into that, buy us new machines. And he was talking about going to Yapi to put a plant there to give us water. That particular, the white voter is the biggest, bigger than what is coming from Nawumi. So I'm sure if President Mahama is able to do that, we will be free. But as it stands now, we will face it for the next years until the president steps in, the government steps in. It is just about machines. The demand keep increasing, and the type and the number of gallons. For example, there are 2 treatment plants in Dalang. The old plant is supposed to serve like 18 million gallons a day. Now it's doing less. The new one is supposed to serve like 24,000 cubic meters a day. Now it's doing less. So in all, a day, they're supposed to pump about 45,000 cubic meters. They are not able to do that. And the reason is the machine
plant. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll leave it here, viewers. The weekend is coming, so let's catch up with each other on the watch at Antimony on if you're in Accra and if you're in a Doom in Kumasi. I'm not coming to Kumasi this weekend, but maybe I just might on Sunday morning. Thanks for watching. Good night.